The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I RASTA go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I Vinny. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah. Kadamawe gromabe ya tela exact beer. Tana istalina ba shante. Kadamawe gromabe ya tela Au mausobolisa adanu water ewo asiple afo. Au mausobolisa akpe kaka. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rastana. In every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. Oh yes, ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, and even aromas and flavors relocate from wherever they are into the black pot to be subjected to some amount of heating to produce sumptuous food. Now this food is enjoyed by us, not even by the black pot and even the ingredients, yet every time the collaboration between the black pot and the ingredients would continue unabated. This is that selflessness we must all learn. So many people would prefer to plant tomatoes and onions because they want something they can harvest quickly, eat quickly, sleep quickly, die quickly, be buried quickly, and be forgotten quickly. Nobody is ready to wait. And even the Bible says, they that wait upon the Lord shall mount up strong wings like the wings of the eagle. That is true. But nobody wants to wait. Nobody wants to plant trees because trees take so long to grow. Nobody wants to grow one so that they will not live long enough to enjoy the fruits and the shade of these trees, forgetting that generations yet to come, including their own children and children's children, will benefit from that. But how many people want to do that sacrifice? How many people want to be involved in that level of sacrifice? We will continue to plant tomatoes and onions as long as we have this kind of mindset. This program, known as the Black Pot, deals with your mindset. Once the African mindset is right, every other thing will be right. All our leaders are only thinking about schools, hospitals, and roads. That is, those that we even consider as the best. But nobody is looking at upstairs. Nobody is thinking about rewiring the mindset of the African. But if the mindset is not right, all the schools and the roads and the hospitals are useless. We can have all those things, but the wrong mindset will destroy everything. Looking forward for another set of new ones, which are also going to be destroyed. So we will continue to be in this cyclical poverty. That is what it is. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, and this is that Joshua generation, the tree planting generation. And here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we will not shy away from it. We would only criticize to build and not to destroy. Oh yes, that is why we keep telling you time and again that it is all about our people, our continent, our land. We are in the service of God and country. This is the Black Pot, and we are supported by Isit. ISIT, and that simply means in spirit and truth. Now, if you're tired of social media shenanigans, those negative shenanigans, I am talking about violence, I'm talking about racism and so on and so forth. This is your app. All you need to do is to log on to Isit, ISIT, in spirit, in truth. And when you log on to Isit, oh guys, as they say in Nigeria and some other places, it doesn't matter how you call it. The most important thing is that it is in spirit, in truth. ISIT. Is it? Isit? Oh my God. Download this from App Store. Download it from Google Play. And make sure that you log on to Isit, where I am, and let us interact. You can upload your videos, your photographs, promote your business, promote your brand, and then meet like-minded people, positive people, and you are good to go. This is what it is. It is called Isit. And, you can also go live. You can make video and audio calls. So you see, this is the most positive app that we have, social media app. It is our app. And it's built by Ghanaian engineers in America. That is why you must support the black business for it to grow. We have been left behind for far too long, especially in technology and science. Support this great business. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Koko Shonamo, where we speak truth to power. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Blakk Empire Media, and Blakk is spelled B-L-A-K-K. Click on the notification button and you are good to go. Anytime we release, you will be the first to pick up the vibrations. Today we have a number of stories we want to unleash on you. Story number 1. And what does it say? Watch it. It looks like we're talking about cosmetics today. Cosmetics on the Ghana Cedi. Oh my God. You know what it means to say you are cosmeticizing something? You know what it means to say you are putting cosmetics or makeup on something? You are hiding the real problem under the cosmetics. You know what it means to say that, you are treating symptoms rather than the cause. Now, if you have malaria and you have fever, and maybe you even have headache, and you go treating the headache and the fever, you are cosmetizing your sickness. You are not treating the sickness. You are putting makeup on your sickness. It's like you have a mongoloid face. You have a face that has a lot of patches, potholes, and then you put makeup on it. Yes, you might deceive yourself that you're looking good, but behind the makeup, there is that mongoloid face full of patches and, of course, potholes. That is what is happening to the Ghana Cedi now. Why? Watch the headline. I'm taking you through. Cedi becomes world's best performer ahead of anticipated bailout. My God. Cedi becomes world's best performer ahead of anticipated IMF bailout. And this is from Bloomberg. Run the story. The Ghana Cedi has outperformed all other global currencies against the US dollar over the past 6 months, buoyed by investor confidence in the country's potential approval for a $3 billion bailout from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. According to Bloomberg's currency tracker, the Cedi's remarkable 33% gain since November marks the highest amongst approximately 150 tracked currencies. Investors have also enjoyed strong returns from Ghana's dollar bonds, delivering nearly 12%, surpassing 3.6% average for emerging and frontier markets in a Bloomberg index. Minister of State for Finance Mohammed Amin Adam expressed optimism about the forthcoming IMF board meeting, stating that the initial $600 million tranche is expected immediately upon approval. Subsequently, another $600 million will follow in November, with the remaining funds disbursed in equal portions of $350 million every 6 months, subject to IMF reviews, right? Subject to IMF reviews. Now, the positive statement surrounding the potential bailout has contributed to the Cedi's recent strengthening. with expectations that it may trade below 10 against the US dollar. Dash. Cosmeticism. Cosmeticism. That's what it is. Cosmeticism. They are cosmeticizing the Ghana cedi. I love to see the Ghana cedi rise to the top. I like to see Ghana rise to the very top in terms of everything. After all, this is the gateway to Africa. Am I right? But hear me now. I am against putting cosmetics and makeup on any product. It is fake. The wind will blow off the cosmetics and the real mongoloid face will start showing that scary face. Why is the cedi rising in terms of value? It's because of what is known as what? What is known as what? The IMF. The IMF is coming in to support Ghana. And because of that, people are projecting into the future. Now, when people are projecting into the future, they can do a lot of things with their ideas and also with their monies. Now, if you have studied a little bit of economics, future price conjectures, thinking that, oh, the price of this thing will rise in the next few months, will make people go for the thing quickly to hoard, so that they anticipate a higher price in the next few months. So for that matter, all other things remaining equal, people will rush to buy that product, especially those who want to sell it back and make profit. Consumers may go buy it right now for fear that the price of this product would increase in the next few months. So you see, it's an all-round affair. And once people are rushing to buy the thing right now, it will automatically push up the price because of demand, all other things remaining equal. I'm sorry I have to go a little bit into economics, but this is basic economics. Demand and supply analysis. Hear me now. Now that is what the Ghana cedi is going through. Price anticipation, price conjecturing. Oh, the IMF is coming. So the Ghana cedi is going to be strong again. For that matter, people start demanding the Ghana cedi. The demand for the Ghana cedi rises. All of a sudden, people want to come and do business here because they anticipate a better economy with the coming of the IMF money. Come here, let me tell you more. Come here. Watch me now. Hear me now. Now, because of this price conjecturing or anticipation, you would realize that when the people start coming in and things are not put right, they see the true picture. That is when the wind would blow away the cosmetics, the makeup, and the true face of the economy would stand. Blakk RASTA teach. Come here, let me teach some more. Watch me. Hey, hear me now. Listen. What are they going to use the money for? Are they going to use it for their next campaign? Are they going to share it amongst party members and family and friends? If they do that, then it means that they are not using the money for any productive cause. So quickly the wind is going to blow away the cosmetics and people will see the true character of the economy. Hey, you can borrow as much as you want. What will decide whether you will borrow again and again and again is what you are doing with the current money that you have borrowed. Does everybody understand? Now listen, this money that they are borrowing, are they borrowing it to go and pay debts? Hey, school feeding project, people are waiting to be paid. Contractors have worked, they are waiting to be paid. Are you borrowing to pay? Now, if you borrow and pay, you have done nothing. The economy is still going to be stale. If you borrow and use the money to do something that is productive, something that will bring some good results, then in that case, you might just escape the vagaries of the economic harshness. That's what it is. This is not the first time we are hearing that the Cedi, is doing so well. Yet in just about 2 weeks or more, you will see that it starts faltering before the American dollar. We have seen it before, haven't we? It's very sad. But, my brother, my sister, we love our country, Ghana. And we want to believe that it will become a better country. But as to whether Nana Akufo-Addo and his power-hungry people in power will do the needful, or they will continue to strangulate the people of this country. Think about it. People are coming. The Ghana Cedi is rising in value, all because of this anticipation. Do they have the economic wisdom to deal with some of these issues? I pray that they would avoid their selfishness and bring about some amount of selflessness. Yes, selflessness, so that the nation can taste and breathe better. I don't trust these people. How many times will we have to go to the IMF? Every time we are running there. Every time we are running there. Yet we claim that we are the masters of economics. You have economists in government. They know everything. They know more than God. Yet every time they are running to these people that we chased out of our land in the days of colonialism and even slavery. Every time we are running to them. It just tells us that we are useless people. We can't think. When would we say we are cutting our loins away, our girdles, cut off everything away from the rest? Our umbilical cords, we are cutting everything away so that we can have a better nation. We need a selfless leader, a Pan-Africanist leader, not a leader who is so egotistically arrogant like Nana Akufo-Addo. To God be the glory. Next story. Now quickly, we're looking at the next thing, which says resurrecting dead banks in Ghana. President John Dramani Mahama, the very last president we had in this country before Nana Akufo-Addo came, is saying that some of the banks in Ghana were unjustifiably closed down. And when he becomes president, he will make sure that those banks are resurrected. So he's going to be the Jesus Christ of the banks. In fact, he would come and resurrect all the banks. But is it possible? Many people have argued. Now, if you come and you are trying to bring back these banks, it will be a way of saying that, well, we were unjustifiably closed. Therefore, pay us judgment debt. Yes, pay us judgment debt. You agree that we were unjustifiably closed down by the government of Ghana under Nana Akufo-Addo. Can you pay us judgment debt? All these banks, can we pay? A country that is so hemorrhaged, can we pay? Some other people have asked, how are you going to resurrect these banks? Do you have money? Or you are going to resurrect them without giving them money to start the business again? How are you going to do it? But there is somebody who is also speaking a lot of economics and common sense here. This is the man. Now, this man has been talking economics for some time now. There was a year I had to go on tour. I think that was the Ancestral Moon Splash tour. And my sponsors were delaying with the cash. I had to run to him and tell him, Bossu, I'm coming to your company to borrow money. He said, can you show me documents? I showed documents. He said, well, the documents are not complete, but I do trust you that you will come back and pay. And he gave me the money. I think in those days, it was about 10,000 Ghana cedis or so. I'm not too sure. Now that will be about 100,000 Ghana cedis. See? Yes, 100,000. So we ran out and then went and did our things. We did a very complete show, beautiful show. And then when it was time to pay, we quickly came and paid back the money quietly. Years later, about 20 years later, I believe, about 20 years later, this man saw me and was able to recognize me. Maybe 20 years is an exaggeration. But several years later, he met me and recognized me. He said, oh, Blakk Rasta, you remember you came to our place for a facility? I said, yeah, you'll never forget. And I vow that I will not go to any place for any such facility again. I don't like debts. In fact, when I owe people money, I can't sleep. Because of that, I don't like borrowing. No, I would prefer to go hungry, and everybody knows that this is how Blakk Rasta is. See? He's talking. Jackson, that's his name, right? He's talking. And who really is Jackson? We'll tell you more about him. Run the story. Watch the headline. He says, it will be tough. Financial expert on Mohammed's assurance to restore banks unjustly collapsed. He says it's going to be a daunting task for former President John Dramani Mahama to restore the licenses of banks that, in his view, were unjustifiably collapsed during the cleanup exercise undertaken by the Bank of Ghana. Financial analyst Mr. Joe Jackson has said, it is going to be a tough one, Mr. Jackson said on the Business Focus on TV3 Monday, May 15. Come here, my lord. Watch me. It's going to be a tough one. That's what he said. However, he welcomed the promise by Mr. Mahama to encourage more local participation in Ghana's financial sector. Mr. Joe Jackson said Ghana really needs more of the indigenous people to have active participation in the sector. There is something else that should excite a little about what he said. Some of us have in time past worried about the concentration of foreign ownership in our financial sector. Unfortunately, the closure of some of the local banks meant that the concentration of foreign ownership became higher because our local institutions have had issues with governance. John Mahama says they will be encouraged. This is a good one, and I pray it happens, because we definitely do need Ghanaians in the financial institution. We definitely need financial institutions that are sympathetic to the Ghanaian cause, but which will hold themselves to the highest standards of behavior, especially in governance. He said, whilst reacting to a promise by the newly elected flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress to restore the licenses of the banks that unjustifiably were collapsed. Dash. Come here. Come. Hear me. What Joe Jackson is saying is nothing but the truth. It's going to be a very daunting task, an arduous task, for former President Mahama to come out and say, hey, I'm restoring the licenses to all these banks. Seydou Agongo's bank has been closed. Seydou Agongo's bank closed. What happened and the bank got closed? They are still running around. He said he was unjustifiably closed down. Other people also said it was because of politics. Seydou Agongo is still in court fighting cocoa and other issues, including his bank, which was closed down, Heritage Bank. According to him, he had a lot of money in his bank, over 150 million. I don't know if it's in dollars or in Ghana cedis, but everything closed down. He's waiting for judgment debt. How many more people are waiting for judgment debt, especially those who have NDC sympathies? Is it time? Is it time for jobs for the boys? Our leaders seem to forget the bigger picture most of the time when they are in power. Before they come into power, they see everything. They promise that once they get into power, A, B, C, D, E, F will be tackled. But the moment they get into power, they forget everything. They are rather thinking about addressing issues that concern their party and party members rather than looking at the bigger picture of Ghana. I would not be surprised if President Mahama comes in and says, oh, Seydou Agongo, judgment debt, take. Hey, Mensa Bonsu, judgment debt, take. Hey, Kwame, Mensa, judgment debt, take. And Ghana will continue to hemorrhage. When they should rather be coming together to sympathize and empathize with the nation and try to push the nation forward. No. There is the need for the youth to be more employed. Sakawa will stop. There is the need for older men to stay back or be in semi-retirement so they can support with their what? Experience. But no, almost all the government institutions, people who are 86, 90, like the president, they are those who are there. For the past 30 years, they have been 20. They never grow old. Yombo, hair dye, all over. They paint everywhere. And they try to look athletic. It's good to look athletic. But don't be athletic when you want to cheat. We must think about all these things. Joe Jackson has made it clear. Foreigners have taken over our land. Everywhere you go, you are seeing foreigners. I don't want to mention any country. They are those who have taken over the land. This is what Kwame Nkrumah calls what? Neocolonialism, imperialism. Every big facet of business in Ghana is owned by somebody who is a foreigner. And you ask yourself, what are the indigenous people doing? Can they do something? Can they not do anything? It looks like the indigenous people are more interested in helping foreigners rather steal from us. There are laws that say, oh, you cannot have a Ghanaian business and it's owned totally by foreigners. So Ghanaians must be part of it. Ghanaians join hands with them and steal. They just put their names there and they know that they are doing nothing. They just give them peanuts and they sit somewhere and make the foreigners still rob us and steal from us. Is this a good thing? Is this a good thing? Let's think about it. But President Mahama, bring his photo. With all respect and with all love, you know I love you. Don't make too many promises. We all know that you did far better than Nana Akufo-Addo. His government is the most useless government we have seen. You didn't do too well when you were there, but you did better than Nana Akufo-Addo. There is no other candidate who is better than you as we have right now. So Ghanaians are looking forward to having you. Don't be too desperate for power. Because this thing I'm hearing about dual citizenships and all of a sudden the banks and all that, they are good things that you could handle. Do not go into the very thorny ones that would have you become another Baumia, making more promises than you can handle. Another Nana Addo, who would make more promises than he can handle. You are not seen as a man who makes promises and then, no. We haven't known you like that. So don't be part of it. Any promise you make sure that you are able to handle it. This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Hey!
Blakk Pot, Kukushonamo.
This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, by him, Blakk RASTA. Remember, we are supported by Isit, and Isit is ISIT, in spirit, in truth. If you're tired of social media's negativity, or the violence, or the nudity, hey, this is your app. You can do everything positive that you do with social media with Isit. Hey, Look, you can go live. You can make video and audio calls. Hey, meet with family and friends and make memories. Promote your business. Put out your brand. Hey, and you meet positive-minded people. They're God-fearing people. Come here. Now, once you meet all these people, you know that you are on your way to success. Yes. Connect with family and friends. Make memories. And the world is for you to take over. And remember, this is Isit. Download that from App Store and Google Play, and it's for free. I am on Isit. Make sure you are on Isit too. Let's connect, let's chat, let's promote our businesses, and let's get to know each other. And it's built by Ghanaian engineers in America. One other reason you need to support Isit, they have powerful algorithms that make sure that all those negative things are cut out and sapped off. Oh yes, so that you can have a very positive social media platform. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Next story. Now the next one says, Asantehene demands gold back from Britain. Asantehene demands gold back from Britain. Jesus have mercy. Hey, before I say anything, let's read the story. Watch what the story says. It says, Asantehene seeks possible return of gold from British Museum. It says that Asantehene Otumfuo Osetutu II, who attended the coronation of King Charles, later met the museum director, Dr. Hartwig Fisher, for discussions. Now the museum, the British Museum's collection includes works taken from the Ashanti Palace in Kumasi during the war with the British in 1874. The museum told us it is exploring the possibility of lending items to Ghana. Underline the word lending. It means it's not for free. They are just lending the thing. They might come and take these things back. The British Museum has been under increasing pressure in recent years to return items in its collection to their countries of origin. Wow. Now the demands by Greece for the return of the Pantheon sculptures, often still known as the Elgin marbles, are the most high-profile examples in the contested debate. They were removed by the diplomat and soldier, Lord Elgin. Now, when you read it, come to the penultimate paragraph. It says, Ethiopia wants the British Museum to return ceremonial crosses, weapons, jewelry, sacred altar tablets, and other items taken from Magdala in the north of the country during the British military action in 1868. The Nigerian government has also formally asked the museum to return 900 Benin bronzes. Dash. Hey, can you see what I'm seeing? Can you? Watch me. Listen. When the British came here and engaged us in an unfair war, in fact, the Asantes resisted. The Asantes became the most resisting force against the British. So they were engaged in a number of wars, a series of wars known as the Anglo-British, the Anglo-Asante War. I beg your pardon. The Anglo-Asante War. Several wars, including the Battle of Nsamanko and several other battles. The British even came all the way to Kumasi and set the whole Kumasi on fire. We all remember that. Do we remember the Segranti War? And many other wars. The Asantes stood firm. In some of the cases, the Asantes lost. And some of the items were taken from the Asantes, including bronze, gold, and also what? Even clay pots, weapons, and many more. Why is Asantehene only interested in the gold? Asantehene goes to England And he says, the gold that was taken from Asante land, can you return that? What happened to the bronze? What happened to the weapons? What happened to Asante amulets? And all those things in the museum, they are not important, right? Why are we only interested in the gold? May I know? Are we going to employ Alistair Matthias to come and carry the gold away and wash it and bring back the money? Now we all remember Asantehene was in one of these countries recently. Was it Sweden? And he carried the gold of Ashanti, including some very important artifacts, ancient artifacts, and lost them. Do we remember? And when Ghanaians were asking for accountability, what did Asantehene say? He said, it's an Ashanti issue. Anybody who's not an Ashanti, you can't talk about it. Wow. Since when? It's a whole nation. We are one people. We are called Ghanaians. It's just the beauty of the culture that makes us Fra-Fra-Fuo, Asante-Fuo, Fante-Fuo, Kokomba-Fuo. But we are all for one people. So when somebody starts saying that this is an Ashanti issue, leave us to handle our issue. This is a Dagomba issue, leave us to handle our issue. I wish that we all rather would come together and solve issues rather than segmenting ourselves and dividing ourselves against each other. I don't know how many people agree with me. Of course, the Gomba people understand the Gomba issues better. But if we have people who want to lend support, they must be allowed. Like Asantehene had to go all the way to Dagbon, sit with the people and bring about a lasting peace process amongst the people. He's not a Dagomba. Of course, the histories of the two ethnic groups merged somewhere. The Asantis at the time went and fought the Dagombas and took part of the Dagomba land and took slaves out of Dagbon after they won a war. And many such things. But today we are one people. And we have to look at each other as one people. Or else we are in trouble. Come here. So why is Asantehene only interested in gold? Is it because oye oti koko so? Enti ade bia anya koko no. Emfa no ho. The gold that they are demanding from the British say that they are lending that. It means it's not for you. We are only giving it to you in trust. We will ask for it back when we want it. Do they have the right to say that? We were in our land. We did nothing wrong. All of a sudden you came in and waged war on us. Killed us and fought us. We resisted. And then you stole some of our things and went away. We never went to England to take anything from England. We don't have anything from the British except the head of Sir Charles McCarthy. If they want the head, in fact, we can produce more heads from other people we killed in the past and give to the British. But certainly what they stole from us, they must return them. But my problem with returning these things is that you see the purpose some of these things are serving in England, where people travel around the world to go and look and observe and study. When they come here, they will start getting missing one after the other from the museum. Thieves. Nigeria is asking for 900 bronze artifacts, right? Holland and some other countries gave out some of these things. And if they gave out 1,000 of them, only about 20 reached the Nigerian museums. The rest of them were stolen by dirty politicians and sold. Now you sell these things. People buy them, antiquities, and take them back into the museum. 20 years later, you come back and say, oh, this belongs to our land. We want it back. What kind of nonsense is this? Recently, the head of a king in Nzima was brought back. Nana Bonzi was brought back. After the Asantes came And then the British worried them in different fights. They also went to Nzima. The Dutch also went there. The Hollandese went there. Holland returned the head. Do we have anything to return to the British? Nothing, except the head of Sir Charles McCarthy. Because we didn't go to England to fight anybody. We didn't go to America to fight anybody. What do you think? Do you think that they should keep the artifacts so that we will keep going there to see them? Or they should bring all of them back home? Let's put in our museums. Do we even have museums in Ghana? Come here. I know of the Armed Forces Museum in Kumasi. It's a beautiful museum. Very nice. It doesn't have so much content, but it is good. Apart from that, do we have any other museum in Ghana? Yes, there's one in Accra here. But when you go there, in a year, only 2 people visit there. The curator and his wife. Nobody goes there. We don't have a culture of museums. We only visit where we can get kenke and fish to eat. Gobe. We don't like museums. What kind of a people are we? It's like a friend of mine in the US said he was coming to open a flower business in Ghana. I said, you will die poor. You will die hungry. How many people buy flowers here? If I have a girlfriend, I have to give her flowers. You know what I'll do? I'll just walk around and see flamboyant, just pluck it out and go and give to her. I'll go to a flower shop and buy flower. In Ghana, we want food to eat, not flowers. He didn't listen to my advice. He came and opened a flower shop on the Spintex Road and another branch in Ashaiman. The Ashaiman one collapsed after 1 week. Ashaiman people, do they buy flowers? He was lucky he didn't even open it in Nima. The one on the Spintex Road lasted 1 month and it died. He ran back to America saying business in Ghana is not supported. No, you brought us the wrong business. We don't buy flowers. We pluck leaves and go around. We don't give our girlfriends flowers. We buy them pizza. We buy them fried rice and chicken. If there's a girl you are courting in the corner there, keep going there with flowers. Flower when we return, we have more. Hey! Woyo!
Blackpot. Kokusho, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember, our number is rolling on the screen. Pick up the number and do business with us. We'd love to promote your business. Do business with us. Both ways, we gain. No losses. That's what it is. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Next story. Now the next story says what? Watch it. It's rolling on the screen. Shell oil destroys lives in Nigeria. Now find me the photograph of Ken Saro Wiwa. Ken is spelled K-E-N. Saro is S-A-R-O. Wiwa is W-I-W-A. Find me his photograph. If you have the one where he's smoking a pipe, put it there. If you don't have that, any other picture would be okay. Now hear me now. Shell has a very terrible history with Nigeria. In fact, It was the same Shell, Royal Dutch Shell, that went to Nigeria in the days of Sani Abacha. Also find a photo of Sani Abacha. And Sani Abacha, the dictator of Nigeria, joined hands with Shell, even though Shell denied it later, and polluted Nigeria like mad. Polluted Nigeria. Polluted Nigeria. Fishes died in water bodies. Human beings were sick and dying. And when Ken Saro-Wiwa came out with his group, the Ogoni people, and fighting against the pollution, they used some political shenanigans, arrested him and jailed him, and killed him. They hanged him. In fact, I made a song. If you have not heard it yet, check it out on YouTube. Saro-Wiwa was an African, Nigerian, Ogoni man, start a rebellion. Abacha jailed him, torture him, hang him, blow the vampire. King Saro-Wiwa, he was a journalist. He was on TV. They hanged him. In fact, the whole of Ogoni was destroyed. Ogoni had the oil, yet Ogoni never benefited from the oil. At the end of the day, when Saro-Wiwa was murdered in cold blood, Shell came and paid compensation. That's him. That's good. Thanks for that one. That's King Saro-Wiwa. They killed him. All because he was fighting against pollution from Shell. Because of that, a lot of Pan-Africanist-minded people refused to buy fuel from Shell. Shell denied that it came hand in hand with Abacha to rob the people. There's a photo of Shell and Nigeria. You see Shell is like a cartoon, and that cartoon has something to do with Ken Saro-Wiwa. Shell. So when you Google out Shell, Ken Saro-Wiwa, you will see that cartoon. How Shell had a hand in the murder and assassination of Ken Saro-Wiwa. But they denied it. Come here. This is Sani Abacha. Very dirty dictator. He was one of those Shell used to destroy the land in Nigeria. Pollution all over the place. And they don't want us to say this. But today, look at what the headlines are saying. And this is from 3 News, the most authentic source of news online right here in Ghana. It says 2 Nigerian communities, traumatized family, sue energy company Shell over health negligence. And when you read the story, you will puke. The giant oil company Shell have been sued for contaminating water through spillage, whilst its clinic could be facing charges over damaging the life of a then healthy young man who is now reportedly paralyzed, amongst other disturbing conditions. Thousands of people in the Bile and Agale communities of River State, Nigeria, are suffering from contaminated water and environmental damage caused by regular oil spillage in the Niger Delta Global Citizen has reported. The communities blame fossil fuel giant Shell for the pollution and have taken the company to court in the UK. They are demanding that Shell clean up the pollution and compensate them for the loss of their livelihoods. Despite announcing record profits of $40 billion American dollars in 2022, Shell argues that the communities lack legal standing and that the spills occurred too long ago for compensation claims. Did you hear that? Oh, the spillage happened several years back. No matter how many people died, it's past. It's past. We shouldn't go back to that. It's over. The law firm Lay Day represents over 13,000 claimants from Bile and Ogali, highlighting the significance of the case and the impact of environmental damage on these communities. Dash it away. In our society, the poor can never touch the rich. I sympathize with the people of Ogali and Obile. They might not go anywhere. Look at what they did to your own citizen, Ken Saro-Wiwa. Sani Abacha didn't care. Murderously finished him up. That is the cartoon I was looking for. Can you see Shell? Can you see the number of people hanged by Shell there? Can you see how many people have been killed and they are lying down? The rest of them are hanging up there. That's the cartoon that you can find online. Yes, we love business, but we do not love business more than our lives. Left to me alone, why should people even allow some of these things to happen? The environment is damaged and you still go in there that you want some gold, you want some oil. No. Can the world not gravitate or graduate and leave all these fossil oils out? Let us deal with renewed oil, green oil. Have we not reached that level yet? Now there are cars that use electricity. There are cars, you see some of the damage done there. Some of the damage, you see fishes dying. In fact, I wrote a whole thesis on this for my master's. So I know what I'm talking about. But to the people there, the poor man has no say, but I want to pray that you'll be okay. To God be the glory. We are more. Next story. And this is the final story. We are about to wind up. Asantehene tours GALAMSEY sites. Wow. Why has it taken Asantehene this long to start touring GALAMSEY sites after so much of the Asante land had been destroyed? I'm sure Asantehene was just allowing the government to do its work. But now Asantehene has realized that government has failed and Asantehene himself must go out there. Late than never. Thank you so much, Asantehene. But from when the land started getting destroyed in Asante mine, one word from Asantehene was enough, should have been enough to silence everybody. In the days when the west of the Asantehene stood superior, Asantehene says this, even dead people would listen to the Asantehene and keep quiet, but not today. Today, Asantehene can hold a microphone and go all over and talk. How many people will listen? Where is the problem from? The internet. The problem is from the so-called modernism. We have no respect for our culture anymore. How can you respect culture when Ochehene is selling royal cemeteries to be used to build fuel filling stations? And you are supposed to be a chief. Where is the traditional wisdom? Where is the cultural wisdom? It's all dissipated, totally decimated. Today, Asantehene can make orders and shout at his people, don't do this. That is when they will do it more. How can we preserve this cultural heritage? The question is to you, to me, and to everybody. Or else a time will come when people would go to Asantehene's palace and use it as their backyard garden. I'm speaking tongue in cheek. I have seen how some chiefs used to be very powerful in the days. I saw such places. Look, I went to Kumasi at a time that people could not just easily even walk in front of my chair like that. In some of the palaces, you will have to remove your shoes. You would walk past it before you wear the shoes. Today, people pee right in front of some of these places. Where have we gone wrong with our culture? Where have we gone wrong with our tradition? Our chiefs are so embroiled in politics and dirty businesses. I hear Asantehene awarded a criminal like Alistair Matthias. The other day, the gold thief. Asantehene hasn't come out to tell us anything yet. His people haven't come out to tell us, oh, this was it. No. When chiefs all of a sudden become politicians, the whip that we use on the politicians, we use that on you. Aba yedi whip politician no. Or hini awa dani no politician, yedi sa aba no be hwe. Aba yedi botechi no. Yedi be boba ana. Please, let us give a lot of credence to our culture. The Asante culture is one of the most beautiful cultures in the world. Hey, look at the Adwa. King, 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 no no ba, no ah. Wa wukra besa. Misi wa wukra besa. Who yare kwa besa uyare. When the Asantehene is sitting in his palanquin, king, no, king. It's so beautiful. Go to the Everland, Bobobo, Agbaja, Boko, Efe, Hebebolechi, Ayeni. We hear this and we love it. It's beautiful. Go to the northern part. Damba is there. Bamaya is there. Beautiful culture. Yet those who are supposed to be the custodians of the culture have become politicians. They are puppeted by politicians. People in power use them and refuse them. How can they respect you? I will hate myself if I am still here at the time that the Asante kingdom loses all its value. Because I grew up in Kumasi. I went to Tiamade Secondary School from 1989. I entered Tiamade Secondary School. And those days, from one students, when we were going to town, say, man, come fat man, share ho. Aden, say, hey, na unsro. Asantehene, so drew you mpabwa. Sa akukọ kra na obe hunu se ote manhia side wa obe chia akukọ no aponche a obe say nana akukọ na etisen nana aponche na etisen. That was how it was. Today no. Or am I euphoric? Maybe I'm confused. Well, to God be the glory. What else can I say? What else can I do? Thanks so much to Isit for supporting this show. And thank you too for supporting us. Nigeria, Kenya. Oh, we have calls coming all the way from Sierra Leone. Oh, Liberia. Oh, all over Africa and beyond. We love you. We appreciate you. We want to say keep loving us. Most importantly, do business with us so we can make some money too. So you can also make some money. This is the Blakk Pod. Pick up our numbers on the screens and talk to us. Remember, we have a YouTube channel. It's called the Blakk Empire Media. Blakk is spelled B-L-A-K-K. Blakk Empire Media. Subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button. So every time we come up, you'll be the first person to see us. I love you. I appreciate you. It's been the Blakk Pod. Hey! Come on!